Hey, I'm Lily. I see you're a little surprised. Well, currently, I'm a swimwear model for a new collection of a well known brand. No, I'm not a professional model. Plus, I've never dreamed of becoming one. It's just, I don't know. What happened so. Probably I should thank my best friend for that. Are you intrigued? Want to know what happened and how I became a model? Make sure you watch this story to the end. Don't forget a like. Here we go. I've always been a very sociable and friendly kid. My mom sent me to kindergarten quite early because she had to spend most of her time at work. Despite my mom's fears, I quickly made friends with all the guys. I always enjoyed their games and we had a lot of fun. All the girls and boys were very nice, but Christy became my best friend since my first day at kindergarten. We went together like salt and pepper. We had lunch together. We walked, played, protected each other from boys. When my mom and dad were late at work and couldn't pick me up on time, Christy's mom was always there to take me to their place. My friend and I played or watched cartoons there until my parents came to pick me up. Over time, our parents started communicating too. We often spent weekends together, went on picnics, and had barbecues. We even went on vacation and camping together several times. Later on, we went to the same class. We sat at the same desk. At 7, I couldn't imagine my life without Christy. I was sure she would be my best friend forever. I remember we even buried a time capsule under an old tree in my yard. We promised each other we would remain friends even after 50 years. But in high school, everything started changing. That's probably because we changed ourselves. We had our personal interests, habits, and friends. Of course, Christy was still my best friend, but I also liked talking to my other classmates. We started spending less time together. I went in for archery, and after classes, I was rushing there, and Christy started swimming. In the evening, we were both busy with our homework or extra classes. The weekends were the only time when we could go for a walk or to the cinema together. Our personalities have also changed. For example, Christy was obsessed with the idea of being the best in everything in school, in sports, everywhere. I didn't know where she got so much energy from, but she always gave her best so that her name would be at the top of every rating. Once, I tried to persuade Christy to slow down, but we only quarreled. She said I didn't understand anything because it was easier for the best people to get settled in this life and get fame and money. I never thought about it, so I just agreed and watched my hyperactive Christy. Things would be fine with us, but over time, her perfectionism and hunger for success, her desire to be the most noticeable, the best of the best, started affecting our relationship. I noticed Christy was jealous of me and tried to get around everything. One day, I came to school in a new pink dress. Of course, everyone immediately noticed it and started giving me compliments. All the girls even asked me the name of the brand and the store. Christy didn't participate in this, but the next day, she came to school in the exact same dress. She said she'd bought it a long time ago. She just didn't wear it. And since I appeared in this dress, there was no point in hiding it. I think all the girls watching would understand. You know this feeling when another girl has the exact same outfit as you? Ugh, it's disgusting. But it was Christy. She was my friend. So I just joked, saying best friends must have the same best dresses. You won't believe it, but for the next week, Christy always came in new dresses. At recess, she was constantly telling everybody where she had bought them and how expensive they were. She said her parents were always ready to pamper her and buy her everything she wanted. Her behavior started surprising me. At 14, I won my first serious award in sports. I won the National Archery Competition Teenage category. My coach and my parents were so proud of me. I guess Christy also congratulated me, but then she started criticizing me, saying I still have to train hard because I didn't stand well and had a wrong position, and I had some problems in target hitting. I tried to object. I was very offended, but Christy wouldn't listen. Then she said swimming required much more effort and endurance. Thus, this kind of sport was more effective. I didn't understand her. How in the world could she compare these two kinds of sports, and why? At her next competition, Christy did a great job and she took first place, receiving a gold medal. Unlike her, I was just truly happy for my best friend. But my happy feelings ended when she started bragging about her victory at every corner. And that's not all. The most disgusting thing was that she also compared my victory to hers, saying archery was a super easy kind of sport for suckers like me, and she was a real champion who trained hard to get her victory. What the? After this, I started questioning myself. Are we still best friends? Or has her desire to surpass everyone and everything totally blinded her and she didn't notice anything around her? The next alarm bell rang when we were both 16. It was the first time I really fell in love. It was with a guy I trained with. Leo joined our team after moving from another country. Of course, he immediately got the attention of all the girls. I was no exception. I liked him. When he asked me out on a date, I was over the moon with happiness. And the first person I shared my happiness with was Christy. She hugged me and even helped me prepare for the date. We chose an outfit, makeup, and hairstyle together. The date was wonderful. At the end of it, Leo asked me to be his girlfriend because he had liked me for a long time. Of course, I agreed, so I got a boyfriend. Apparently, Christy couldn't accept the fact that I was ahead of her in relationships, so she decided to take me by quantity. A couple of weeks later, she told me and all the girls in the class she was dating two guys at the same time. They were both madly in love with her, and she couldn't refuse either of them. When I said her behavior was unfair to the guys, she got mad at me and said I just envied her, as I only had one boyfriend. What? She really went nuts. Anyway, over time, I realized Christy's life mission was to compete with me in everything and always be the best. It was no longer a friendship. Suddenly, all this anger sleeping in me woke up, so I couldn't resist and asked her everything I thought of her. Sometimes I even provoked her for the competition. Once, I bought a cheap ring that looked exactly like a brand one. I bragged about it, and the next day, Christy came to school with real expensive jewelry. Or I told her about the magical and romantic date Leo arranged for me. After that, she got mad at one of her boyfriends and demanded the same romantic date from him. Since then, our relationship started looking like a tennis game. We competed and each of us tried to win. During our last year of high school, I thought it would be nice to take care of my shape a little and go in for fitness. Yeah, due to archery trainings, I pumped up my arms quite well, but my abs were safely hidden under my tummy and my ass was flat. I consulted Leo, who had been working out in the gym with a personal coach for several years, and signed up for training. I also adjusted my diet and nutrition. Apparently, my body was just looking forward to this, as after just a couple of months, I started noticing the result. My body looked tight, and my ass started having a delicious shape. Of course, my changes didn't go unnoticed by Christy. As always, when I started, she tried to convince me the gym wasn't for girls. But when she saw the result, she realized it was worth it, and she also signed up for gym classes. She's so predictable. Our competition started and I got deep in the game. I worked out harder and more often. My body started rapidly changing. My chest increased. I had six-pack abs and my ass. And here, I guess, I did too much because it got just huge. It was so big. Both boys and girls turned their heads after I passed them. Boys liked it and girls envied me. The funniest thing was, no matter how hard Christy tried, nothing worked for her. The coach explained to me it was almost impossible for some girls to gain muscle mass and acquire a good shape in a short time. It depended on a lot of factors, and such girls needed a lot of training to gain a good shape. Apparently, that was Christy's case. I could see my success was upsetting her, but I wasn't going to stop. I really liked my body shape. Of course, other people liked my body too. Once a girl came up to me and said she was an advertising agency manager. She told me I had a perfect body shape. Then she invited me to a photo shoot for a new swimwear collection. I never thought about a career as a model. Besides, shooting in a swimsuit is very sexy. But the very idea that Christy would go crazy and envy me for the rest of her days made me agree. I didn't regret it. I really liked acting, and maybe I wouldn't stop at just one photo shoot and continue my spontaneous modeling career. By the way, Christy hasn't spoken to me for a week now. When she found out about the shoot, She tried to convince me it was immoral and I should refuse, but I didn't listen to her. Now she thinks I deserve to be ignored. Do you have envious friends? The ones who call you a friend to your face, but say nasty things about you behind your back? Type your answers in the comments section. If you liked my story, click thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Click the bell to always know about new videos and stay tuned. Bye!